right, this, like, we can try this, make this fast. Like, more tools for getting to where I want to be in life. I tried not dwelling on things, and that's been really good for two different things. One is I realized that, like, dwelling on a lot of negatives makes moments negative, but a lot of the things that, like, intrusive thoughts that pop up are memories from decades and decades ago. And now, knowing what I know about the situation and the people involved, like, they knew a lot more about what was going on than I did, and a lot of that suffering they were aware of and were fine with. And I only realized that now after, like, kind of obsessing over that. And I'm like, oh Jesus, they were like, those were bad times, but those were kind of awful people. So that was some good information, you know, like, don't dwell on stuff. And also, like, some of the things I was dwelling on, like, solved in a way, like, oh, I felt so bad when I was around this person. I'm like, that person wanted you to feel bad. I'm like, oh, that person's that's an awful person. I'm like, yeah, so don't waste any more of your time and whatnot on that, on thinking about something that happened decades ago about somebody that you're better off not having in your life. Getting sleep, I now realize, like, how important that is, because, like, there's a lot of mental processing that goes on. So that was part of why I wanted to change my schedule, is rather than get off late at night and I'd eat dinner and have a beer and then go to bed, you know, full stomach and alcohol in my system. And now I'm trying to cut back or cut out alcohol and eat, like, pretty much as soon as I get off work. So I have hours and hours and hours to process the food before I reach bedtime. And like, last night I was drinking a bunch of kombucha, so, like, I got up a couple times to pee in the middle of the night. It wasn't that bad, but I'd prefer not to drink, you know, any kombucha before bed. I had a beer craving, and kombucha is an excellent kind of beer replacement. Oh, another tool that has just occurred to me recently is basically, like, essentially screen time. That I realized that kind of why I got rid of Netflix, and then just some general feelings about, like, what am I doing? You know, what am I doing with my time? Like, I realized I was, like, scrolling Reddit so much, and I hadn't commented on anything. I hadn't really clicked on anything. So what was I doing? And I think I was, like, I was reading all these Reddit threads so that my brain could process the information, and then I'll move on to the next one. And it was just to be distracted. So I think the tool here is set aside times for thinking that screen time has been taken away. And so last night I went to go watch a movie, and I turned it off and just started listening to the rain, and it was really good. And this morning, like, I normally, like, watch videos and stuff like that and drink coffee, but instead I went and sat in my living room and just thought about things. And as long as I'm not dwelling, as long as these things are, like, some negatives and some positives, I realized that, you know, there was some things I could do for work. I signed up. I went to a doctor's appointment, and I haven't, like, signed into their system so I could read my blood work. So I did that. I thought about the fact that, like, there's a huge amount of people that could benefit from you doing extra, working extra hard for other people, or trying to be, like, work extra hard to make sure things go right for other people. There's a huge amount of people that do not appreciate that at all. As a matter of fact, trying to have that be a regular part of your day is also a great way to lock horns with people who actually want things to be worse off for other people. And people acknowledge that. People know that there's people out there that try to fuck other people over, and they just kind of factor it into their day. And so you're trying to say like, oh, please don't fuck those people over. It's just like, well, that's going to lead to a different kind of being fucked over. And other people like don't really care. Like it doesn't really benefit you. It doesn't benefit you in any other way. Trying to make sure everyone has these benefits. And they could take it or leave it. So I just realized that like, you know, part of the, like, I was sitting around thinking like, I've got a lot of things that I feel are very important for me to do for myself, from like my mental health and physical health. And that's where extra work needs to go. You know, like any other systems that allow for other people to screw other people over, the system allows that, you know, like if that was so awful, you know, that would be prevented from happening. And, so it's not me to try to fix broken systems that are in place. It's not for me to do that. All right. Time to go to work.